Well, good morning to those online and to the two gentlemen. It's good to see you. It's nice to have company. You're more than welcome. Anyway, today is September 24th. This is the Township of Southgate Committee of Adjustment hearing, and I will call the meeting to order exactly at 9 o'clock. So my name is Martin Shipston. I am the chairperson of the Committee of Adjustment, and I call the meeting again at 9. The committee members include members of council. However, we sit at this table as the Committee of Adjustment and not as members of council. Our jurisdiction lies solely with matters of consents and minor variance applications. The secretary of the committee today is Holly Malnick. This is a hearing, excuse me, to consider applications for minor variances and consents within the Township of Southgate and is held under the provisions of the Planning Act 1990. This hearing will be in accordance with the Provincial Planning Act, the Municipal Act, and the Township of Southgate Official Plan. Can I get a confirmation of the agenda? Moved by Joan, seconded by Jason. All in favor? Carried. Be it resolved that the committee confirm the agenda as presented. And declaration of pecuniary interest. Are there any? Seeing none. Just a reminder, anytime during this meeting, you can declare a pecuniary interest if it should arise. Adoption of the minutes. Can I get our approval of the minutes from the previous meeting? Moved by Barb. Seconded by Jim. All in favor? Be resolved that the committee approve the minutes from the August 27th, 2025 meeting as presented. And I will ask that anyone speaking about an application to state their full name and address for the record. Please keep all remarks relevant to the consent or minor variance application before us, as the Committee of Adjustment has no jurisdiction on any other matter. Any material submitted to the committee for viewing will remain the property of the Committee of Adjustment and will be available for public viewing in the application file and be placed online. And please direct all remarks to myself, the chairperson of the committee, and this will enable the hearing to be conducted in an organized manner. So we have 4 files today. The first one is B625 Southgate Acres, Inc. The purpose of the application B625 is to sever the subject lands to convey a plus or minus 199 meters by plus or minus 1,025 meter vacant parcel with frontage on Gray Road 9 to an abutting owner to the east. The retained lot will have a plus or minus 80 hectares lot area and contain the existing farm operation. The effect of the consent application B625 is to join the plus minus 20 hectare vacant severed land lot to an abutting owner to the east. And the location of the subject land is civic address 185333 Gray Road 9. Legal description is concession 13, lot 8 to 9 west, part lot 10, geographic township of Proton, Township of Southgate. Is there a request for a deferral or withdrawal of the application?
Thank you, Chair Shipson. Through you, there is no deferral or withdrawal received.
Great, thank you. Can I have clarification that the sign was posted?
Thanks, Chair Shipson. I can confirm that the sign was posted and a notice was given in accordance with the Planning Act.
Great, thank you, Holly. So I'll ask our planner to review all comments received and present the staff report. So Victoria, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. As stated, it's a proposed lot line adjustment. It would transfer approximately 20 hectares at 85333 Gray Road 9, looking to add it to the abutting lot to the east and retain about 84 hectares containing a farm cluster. The abutting lot will also become about 40.3 hectares in area with a farm and also an approved zoning to permit an on-farm diversified use, which is for an industrial workshop and some outdoor storage. Within the consent policies for the agricultural designation, they suggest the severed and the retained parcels should be at least 40 hectares in size during a lot line adjustment. So just to review the subject properties to give some context, they're flat to gently rolling. They have some heavily treed areas along the northwestern corner. and the eastern lot line of the proposed retained lot as well. The parcel has about 997 meters frontage along Gray Road 9, over 1,000 meters depth, and 102 hectares in lot area. So the retained lot contains a farm cluster, including an existing farmhouse. They have a beef barn, shed, and a chicken barn as well. The proposed benefiting lot to the east at 185383 Gray Road 9 contains a residence and an accessory structure with, again, some land zone for A2-509 to permit an OFDU, but there are no structures associated with the OFDU yet within the permitted zoned area. And also it's mostly agricultural uses and natural areas that are nearby the subject lands. Some comments received are also included on page 3 of staff's report. Enbridge Gas had no concerns regarding the application. Township Public Works note that the roadway is under Grey County jurisdiction. And some comments received after report writing include Grey Road or Grey County and Saugeen Valley Conservation Authority, both of which had no concerns regarding the application. So the proposed lot line adjustment reduces the subject lands to about 82 hectares, while the abutting land to the east is increased to just over 40 hectares. The proposed new lot line also transects through active farmland as well, just creating a larger farm parcel for the adjacent lot. The township official plan also contains some wording that suggests that lot line adjustments in the agricultural designation should occur when the lot to be retained and the parcel benefiting are at least 40 hectares. Some other provisions to allow such a consent for technical or legal reasons. That's another note. And the county official plan also allows for technical and legal reasons, but with no relation to parcel size. So just to summarize, since the lot line adjustment increases the tillable acres of the adjacent lot and would have little impact on the farm cluster that's existing, the proposed consent can be supported subject to some conditions as recommended by agencies. Section 53 of the Planning Act will apply to any future transfer of the exact same severed lot to ensure the severed parcel is permanently joined to the lot to the east. So at this point, staff are recommending approval of the subject application. Happy to take any questions at this time.
Thank you, Victoria. If the applicant is in attendance, if so, would they like to care to come forward to present their case? Seeing none, do any members of the committee have any questions? Barb?
Thank you. Through you, Chair Shipston. Good morning, everyone. Just a quick question. To Victoria, you refer to an approved on-farm diversified use or a proposed on-farm diversified use on the adjacent lot that is being created?
Through you, it's already an approved permitted OFDU.
Okay. And the applicant is aware that the heavily treed parcel that county manages the tree bylaw?
Through you, that's correct. Yeah. They've included that within their comments, I believe. That's usually typical that they reference any cutting of trees, that they would have to have a certain buffer and whatnot and contact them or the Conservation Authority if there was concerns.
Thank you.
Anyone else? I guess I have one. You just mentioned a buffer. How big is that buffer from the trees to what actually they can use?
I can pull up those comments to take a look. I don't know off the top of my head, but it should be included within the agenda, the Grey County comments. Okay, so in these comments, they didn't reference any concerns regarding the trees, just hazard lands that they've noticed. But otherwise, county ecology had no concerns regarding a building envelope.
Okay, great. Thank you. Are there any others in attendance that would like to speak in support of this application? Seeing none on the screen and no one in attendance, I'll again ask committee members if there's a requirement for further discussion, review, or ask if any conditions are required, if not already mentioned. Seeing none, may I request a mover and seconder to grant, refuse, or defer the application? Jason?
I'll move to grant.
Okay. And the seconder? Thank you, Monica. No, okay. So be resolved that staff report PL 2025077 Southgate Acres Inc., 18533 Gray Road 09 be received for information, and that the committee consider approval subject to the following conditions: that a reference plan of survey be provided to the satisfaction of the Secretary Treasurer, that Section 53 of the Planning Acts apply to subsequent conveyances of the severed lot, and that the standard conditions apply as recommended by agencies, including that all requirements of the township zoning bylaw, financial or otherwise, to the satisfaction of the Secretary Treasurer prior to issuance of a certificate of consent, including payment of any outstanding taxes, fees, and other charges, if any. Did I get confirmation? Approval of that, Holly?
So you have a mover
I
seconder.
have a mover and
Yep,
second.
just if there's just any discussion
Yeah.
from members and then the vote.
Okay, discuss, any more discussion on that? No, we'll have a vote then. All in favor? Thank you. The decision of the Committee of Adjustment is to grant the application. The applicant shall have 2 years in which the conditions must be met. Next file is B825, Jonathan E. Martin and Barbara Martin. The purpose of this application, B825, is to sever the subject lands to create a plus or minus 41 hectare parcel with a plus minus 498 meters frontage on Southgate Road 24 and plus or minus 1,026 depth. The retained lot has plus minus 305 meters frontage on Southgate Road 24, plus minus 1,026 depth, plus or minus 41 hectare lot area, and contains an existing farm operation. The effect of the application B825 is to create a separate lot east of the existing farm operation on the subject lands. Location of the subject land is civic address 245794 Southgate Road 24. Legal description is concession 16, lot 20 to 21, geographic township of Proton, township of Southgate. Is there a request for deferral or withdrawal of the application?
Thank you. Through you, there were none received.
Okay, thank you, Holly. Can I have clarification that the sign was posted?
Thank you. Through you, the sign was posted. Proper notice was given in accordance with the Planning Act.
Great. Thanks again. Victoria, I will ask you for your comments received in this and the staff report. Go ahead.
Perfect, thank you. Again, it's proposed severance at 245794 Southgate Road 24, looking to create a 41 hectare severed lot with frontage along Southgate 24 over about 1,000 meters depth. The severed lot also has a wider frontage than the retained parcel to create space for a future farm cluster outside of the protected natural areas, sorry. And also the proposed 41 hectare retained lot will contain an existing farm operation, including the home, the barn, and some accessory buildings as well, with over 1,000 meters depth and about 305 meters frontage on Southgate Road 24. So for some context, the lands are flat to gently rolling. They have some heavily treed areas throughout most of the proposed severed lot. There's also a tributary that passes from the north to south through the severed lot. They also have some wetlands along the northern portion of the eastern lot line. The wetlands also continue into the eastern neighboring lands. The site has about 800 meters frontage on Southgate Road 24, over 1,000 meters depth, and 82 hectares in lot area, and contain an existing farm cluster, again with a farmhouse, barn, and some accessory structures. So the proposed severed lot to the east would also have sufficient buildable area outside natural woodlands and wetlands to allow construction of a new farm cluster. to review comments. Those are included on page 3 of staff's report. Enbridge Gas had no concerns with the subject application. Township Public Works Department requested a 3-meter road widening on Southgate Road 24. And then comments received after the writing of this report include Grey County and Saugeen Valley Conservation Authority, both of which had no concerns regarding the application. So the application for consent would create 2 agricultural parcels exceeding 40 hectares as required in the provincial policy and the agricultural designation in both official plans. The retained lot also contains the existing farm cluster, including an OFDU, while the severed lot is configured to allow a new farm cluster without impacting the wetland or the hazard area on site. The township official plan also states that lot creation and the agricultural designation if the severed and retained parcels exceed 40 hectares. The parcel size is also common in much of Grey County and also supported by viable agricultural operations of this type. Hazard areas on the severed lot can be used for agricultural purposes as well. If this involves adverse impacts on the hazard consultation with the conservation with the Conservation Authority would be needed. And the severed lot is configured to allow some tillable lands outside the natural hazard area. Happy to take any questions at this time.
Thank you, Victoria. Is the applicant in attendance? And if so, would they care to come forward to present their case? Hearing none. Do any members of the committee have any questions? Barb
Oh, and
and then Jason?
no, Joan.
Joan?
Thank you through you to the secretary. I noticed that the historic Saugeen Métis and the Six Nations of the Grand were circulated, or maybe to Victoria, whomever I need to speak to. But there haven't been any responses. We've run into this before where it's our duty to ensure that they have received the notification and, and not assume that no response is agreement. Do we utilize the ability when sending out these or circulating to these agencies, the read and the received and read confirmation notice to ensure that we have a record that, well, we have a record that it was received in your office and read by whomever. I'm just concerned that we also don't circulate to the Saugeen Ojibwe Nation being in the Saugeen Conservation Authority. I'm hopeful because historic Saugeen Métis are usually very quick to respond and say we have no concerns. Six Nations has been more engaged recently, and I noticed on the last file there were no comments either. Just want to make sure that we're ticking all the boxes and protecting the township from any further concerns.
I can take that one if that's okay. So I don't believe that we're currently using the red thing, the red confirmation, but that is something that we can look into. We do circulate to Saugeen Ojibwe Nation as well in our circulation. So it goes to both historic Saugeen Métis and Saugeen Ojibwe Nation.
Thank you. Six Nations of the Grand is listed, but Sans wasn't. That was my only question, but I think it's just as a matter of course, we need to protect the township from just to make sure that we have all of the records in place that prove that we have done our due diligence. Thank you.
Thanks, and we'll certainly look into that on a staff end.
Joan?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, through you. Victoria, I just wanted you to elaborate a little bit more on the letter from the Saugeen Conservation Authority, a little bit more on their site characteristics and provincial planning. No, not provincial planning, sorry. The regulation, just a little bit more about the wetlands and the water courses and where they speak about the unstable soil and stuff like that. Are these taken into consideration and everything is okay with this. I know that they said to the bottom that they had no problem as long as they are consistent with the policies of the PPS, but could you just elaborate a little bit more?
Sure, through you. Yeah, they've looked at some unstable soils. You're correct. The wetland swamps. They noted that it's part of the Proton Station provincially significant wetland swamp. Also, the Rust drainage works as well, I think. So at this time, they haven't proposed a farm cluster, but when they do, when they want to build on the parcel with the wetland, then they will still have to contact the Saugeen Conservation Authority to get approval if there's any permits as well. They have reduced the setback to the wetlands. Township official plan or township zoning bylaw does still require 120 meters from the wetland. So that will all be assessed when they decide, or if they decide to go ahead with development.
Thank you.
Monica, go ahead.
Thank you and good morning, everyone. Just through you, with regards to Enbridge report, I do understand that it does, there's a condition on there that to make sure that the gas lines are all checked. Do we know if the applicant has verified that already?
Through you, I'm not entirely sure if they verified that, but that would be part of their due diligence. Should they decide to develop, they would have to contact Enbridge Gas to confirm.
Oh, okay, and just a quick follow-up. That's something standard anyway, right? That happens with most requests such as this.
Through you, yep.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Thanks, Monica. I have one, I guess, for John. He's up there. John, it says road widening necessary. Because it's probably gonna be a on-farm diversified use, or there's one there anyway. Are you looking at widening the front of the driveway to accommodate trucks at the same time as the road widening, make it all in one go?
Through you, no, typically we just do whenever there's a severance, we widen the actual road allowance 3 meters. So we take 3 meters off the road frontage of that property just to allow for if we need to develop the road and do any work on the road, then we have that extra room for that work. No, if they want to do an on-farm diversified use down the road, then they would need to do a commercial entrance at that time.
Okay. Thank you, John. Are there any others in attendance that would like to speak in opposition of this file? Seeing none, I will again ask the committee members if there's a requirement for further discussion, review, or ask if any conditions are required, if not already mentioned. Jason's shaking his head, so we will move forward. To move and seconded to grant, refuse, or defer the application. Moved by Barb, seconded by Jason.
I move we grant the
Oh, grant,
application.
sorry. Yes, we'll grant it. Be resolved, the staff report PL 2025-078 Jonathan and Barbara Martin, 245-794 Southgate Road 24 be received for information, and that committee consider approval of consent file B825 subject to the following conditions: that a reference plan of survey be provided to the satisfaction of the Secretary Treasurer, and that standard conditions apply as recommended by agencies, including that all requirements of the township, financial or otherwise, to the satisfaction of the Secretary Treasurer prior to issuance of a certificate of consent, including payment of any outstanding taxes, fees, and any other charges, if any. So we can discuss it. I do have one thing, Holly, looking at the act, because this is a legal piece of paper. The name Jonathan is Jonathan on the first line with an I. And then I know I'm being picky, but it is. And then down here, it says with a O. So I guess that has to be.
Yeah, we'll look
That-
into
we'll
that,
just change
update it,
Yeah.
yeah, with the minutes.
Okay. So all in favor to grant? That is carried. The decision of the Committee of Adjustment is to grant the application. The applicant shall have 2 years in which the conditions must be met, or it's that. Next file is A1025 Cody Banks. The purpose of this application is to recognize an existing concrete deck and permit a pool installation. The existing concrete deck has a northwest side yard of plus minus 0.35 meters. The required side yard is 1 meter. The proposed side yard variance for the existing concrete deck is plus minus 0.65 meters. The proposed pool and existing concrete deck would cover plus or minus 49% of the lot area. Maximum lot coverage permitted is 40% plus 5% for the accessory structures. A variance of plus or minus 9% on lot coverage is required to permit the pool installation. So the effect of the application is to permit the existing concrete deck to remain with a plus or minus 0.35 meter northwest side yard, and variances for any other accessory structure setbacks for the pool to be constructed with a 1 meter setback to the interior lot line and a total lot coverage of 49%. Location of the subject land is 196 Wary Avenue, civic address 196 Wary Avenue. Legal description is Plan 16 M65 Lot 98, Geographic Township of Proton, Township of Southgate. Was there a request for deferral or withdrawal of this application, Holly?
Thank you. Through the chair, there was none received.
Thank you. Can I have a clarification that the sign was posted?
Thank you. Through the chair, I can confirm the sign was posted and notice was given in accordance with the Planning Act.
Great. So Victoria, all comments received on your report, please.
Perfect, thank you. So the applicant requires a minor variance for an existing concrete deck with about 0.65 meters northwest interior side yard setback, where a 1 meter minimum side yard setback is required. The existing deck and proposed pool also exceed the permitted 40% lot coverage and requires a variance of 8.9%. The concrete deck and proposed pool require a building permit as well to comply with the building code and must meet fencing provisions in section 5.18C. Privacy fencing is suggested along the northwest edge of the existing deck, subject to conditions related to the building code and fencing. The proposed variance staff feel meet the 4 tests under the Township Official Plan and Planning Act. To provide some context, the subject lands have about 10 meters frontage on the north side of Wary Avenue, about 38 meters depth, 389 square meters lot area, and contains a single detached dwelling. It's also zoned R1-378, which permits the existing single detached dwelling with a 1 meter minimum side yard on one side and 0.6 meters on the other. The existing deck also encroaches into the main building side yard. Attachment 2 shows the subject lot, which is roughly 500 meters from Main Street East and Dundalk Memorial Park. The lot is also within a developing residential subdivision with similar sized lots nearby. They have some open space, environmental protection, and rail trail are also within this subdivision. Comments received are included on page 3 of staff's report. Grand River Conservation Authority and Township Public Works had no concerns regarding the application. Grey County staff also have not formally reviewed the application due to streamlining, and they have no further comments at this time. So the proposal to permit the existing concrete deck and proposed pool complies with the 4 tests. So it maintains the general intent and purpose of the official plan, as the neighborhood area designation does permit decks and pools accessory to residential uses. It maintains the general purpose and intent of the zoning bylaw as well as any other provisions that they be met. And the house and pool also exceed the side yards, and the deck can also comply by requiring its removal if so asked. Minor in that the proposal complies with the remaining regulations in the R1-37 zone and other applicable provisions in the zoning bylaw. Reduced setbacks and higher lot coverage is common for accessory buildings in a lot of these new subdivisions with these small lots. And lastly, it's desirable for the appropriate development of the subject lands in that the existing deck must be reduced in size by 0.65 meters to meet the required side yard, and that the privacy fencing can help mitigate impact on the neighbors. as well. The 0.35 meter side yard is large enough to limit access and maintenance. The pool and the main home also exceed the required side yards. Recommended conditions are that the building code provisions and fencing requirements in the zoning bylaw be met, and that a minimum 1.5 meter privacy fencing be installed along the northeast edge of the concrete deck to reduce impact on neighboring lands. Happy to take any questions at this time.
Thank you, Victoria. Cody, I see you're on the line. Any comments? Anything you'd like to say?
No, should be good. Thank you.
You're more than welcome. They're very succinct. Did members of the committee have any questions? Joan?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and through you. Victoria, you said something about the side yard exceeding what it should be. Will that cause any encroachment on the neighbors? And I also noted you said privacy fencing would be in place and the fencing bylaw. But that's just my question about the encroachment because of the exceeding of whatever it is. Could you just repeat what it would exceed?
Sure. So through you, it's the northwest side yard for the deck. It requires 1 meter setback, and they have existing 0.35 meters. So it would require a variance of 0.65 meters. Technically, I guess it's just, I don't think necessarily encroaching on the neighbor. That's why we would have a privacy fencing. There's still enough room there to have the privacy fencing and to have enough room to have maintenance and whatnot along the northwest side. But no, it's a reduced setback where it's just a bit closer than it should be. It should be 1 meter and it's 0.35 meters.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joan. Anyone else? I guess I have a question for Cody here. How big is the proposed pool? I'm assuming above ground. Because all these meters and feet away from lines, it's just curious.
Yeah, so I believe it's around 520 square feet. It's an L-shaped pool. So it's 40 feet long and 10 feet wide, and then it's 7 by 14 feet on the one L end.
Quite big.
Yeah.
The other question I have is we were looking at all the blueprints and the drawings. There's all this notice that you went 5.5 feet down for the footings. Do you have pictures of that to show the inspector? Because I'm just curious how the inspector's gonna know that it's 5.5 feet down. Did you take any pic-
Yeah, I have pictures of all of that.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yep,
Thank you, Cody.
no worries.
Any others in attendance that would like to speak in support of this? Monica?
Thank you,
Go
Chair.
ahead.
Thank you. I just had a question, if that's okay.
Sure, go. That's why we're here.
Yeah, just through you to Victoria, and good morning, Cody.
Morning.
Good morning. So just with regards to potential impacts to stormwater drain off or runoff, given the higher lot coverage of 48.9%, would you be able to just speak to that?
Through you, yeah. At this time, I don't believe there's any concerns with that. That may be something that building can assess if needed. But like I kind of referenced in my notes, high lot coverage in these new subdivisions isn't new. But I think mitigating measures like usual, proper runoff, like spouts and whatnot, a lot of these neighbors probably use. But at this time, I don't think there's mainly any concerns with drainage. And yeah, if that's a concern, building may assess that if there's any from the pool and whatnot. I think there's usually measurements in place that these developers have for pools. to make sure that there's a lot of safe measures put in place, that there's not any flooding and whatnot to neighbors or the property itself.
Okay, and just a quick follow-up, Chair.
Sure.
Thank you. Thank you for the answer there, Victoria. Just another quick question was with regards to if there's a history of similar variance approvals for deck pools in the subdivision or neighborhood?
Through you, I haven't been on, I think there was one maybe last year, maybe one last year. I think there was a reduced deck or a side yard for an existing house. But otherwise, I've only come across one other.
Okay, I guess like the just the understanding because I know it's some new things, but definitely I'm always thinking about the water and making sure that those safety, especially for you, Cody, like for residents and all of that, to make sure all things will keep you know everything safe and having a pool is a lot of fun. So uh, thank you so much for that.
Thank you, Monica. I guess out of all that, Cody, I have one question. You said it's a fairly big pool.
Yep.
And I'm looking at the overhead, the aerial shot of the houses. And do you have enough space between the houses to get equipment in there? And if you don't, you've notified the neighbors, obviously, that you won't be doing that?
Yeah, oh yeah. I've talked to all my neighbors, and typically on like tighter backyards, it's all like 1.5 ton excavators and small gas powered wheelbarrows.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Are there any in attendance that would like to be in opposition of this application? Seeing none on the screen. Heard something on the screen, but anyway, I will again ask the committee members if there's a requirement for further discussion. Reviewer ask if any conditions are required, if not already mentioned. You saying something, Bart? Or just playing with your mouse? May I request a mover and seconder to grant, refuse, or defer the application? Monica moves,
To grant. Mhm.
Joan, and then Monica. Thank you. And that is to grant?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Thank you. Be resolved, the staff report PL 2025-076 regarding minor variance file A1025 for 196 Wary Avenue be received for information, and that the committee consider approval for minor variance A1025 to reduce the side yard setback to plus or minus 0.35 meters from the northwest lot line for the existing concrete deck where the current zoning requires 1 meter, and permit a maximum lot deck where the current coverage of plus or minus 48.9, where zoning allows a maximum of 40. That the existing deck and proposed pool comply with any applicable requirements under the zoning bylaw respecting fencing, and that minimum 1.5 meter privacy fencing be installed along the northeast edge of the existing concrete deck, and that a building permit is obtained to demonstrate compliance with the OBC. So any more discussion? Barb, go ahead.
Just with regard to fencing, through you to Victoria or the building department, with it being an in-ground or even above ground pool, there needs to be specific fencing for pools. Does the privacy fencing that is a requirement to help mitigate impact on the neighbor satisfy the safety requirements with regard to pools in backyards?
Through you, they would still have to follow the fencing in the zoning bylaw, which is under section 5.18, which is I think it's about 1.5 meters height in fencing for the pool itself.
Thank you.
Okay, so anything else to discuss? If not, all in favor of granting the application? And that is carried. The decision of the committee is to grant. The next file, last file, is B325 and B425, C1025, 2684742 Ontario, Inc. The purpose of application B325 is to sever the subject lands to create a lot upon which 2 semi-dwellings will be constructed. The severed lot has plus minus 13.2 meters frontage on Doyle and Artemisia Streets and plus minus 34 meters depth. The retained lot has plus minus 19 meters frontage on Doyle, plus minus 10 meters frontage on Artemisia. The lands are also subject to consent application V425 and rezoning application C1025. And the effect of the consent application B325 is to create a plus or minus 13.2 meter by plus minus 19 meter, excuse me, lot where two semi-detached dwellings will be built. Two semi-detached dwellings are also proposed for the retained lot and the lot to be created under file B425. Do I go through the other one exactly as, yes, okay, thank you. The purpose of application B425 is to sever the subject lands to create a lot upon which two semi-dwellings will be constructed. The severed lot has plus minus 13.2 meters frontage on Doyle and Artemisia Streets and plus or minus 34 meters depth. The retained lot has plus minus 19 meters frontage on Doyle, plus minus 10 meters frontage on Artemisia. The lands are also subject to consent application B325 and rezoning application C1025. The effect of consent application B425 is to create a plus minus 13.2 meter by plus minus 19 meter lot where two semi-detached dwellings will be built. Two semi-detached dwellings are also proposed for the retained lot and the lot to be created under file B325. Location of the subject land, civic address 271 and 281 Doyle Street. Legal description is Plan 480, Part Lot 5, Part Lot 6, Doyle North, and Plan 480, Lot 7, Part Lot 6, Doyle North. Geographic Township of Dundalk, Township of Southgate. Holly, is there a request for deferral or withdrawal of the application?
Thank you. Through the chair, there were none received.
Okay. Clarification that all the signs were posted?
Thank you. I can confirm the sign was posted and notice was given in accordance with the Planning Act.
Great, thank you. Victoria? Comments received in the staff report, please.
Perfect, thank you. Okay, so again, 271 and 281 create two through lots with about 13.2 meters frontage on Doyle Street and Artemisia Street, 34 meters depth. Retained lot has about 19 meters along Doyle, 10 meters frontage along Artemisia. Two semi-detached dwellings are proposed on the retained and the severed lots for a total of 6 units. The subject lands are located in the Dundalk settlement and are merged under a cancellation certificate, which are shown in the original survey. 271 Doyle Street is a through lot with 21 meters frontage along Doyle, 34 meters depth, about 647 square meters in lot area as well. 281 Doyle Street also has frontage on Doyle, about 18 meters, 34 meters depth, and 809 square meters lot area, and also backs onto Artemisia Street. There's some existing buildings as well that are proposed to be demolished. There's similarly sized residential lots in all directions of the site, with an 8-unit back-to-back townhouse residential development located east at 221 Doyle Street, and the Todd Street subdivision to the northwest as well. Also, we have downtown Dundalk about 550 meters to the east. On page 3 of staff's report, there are some comments. Grand River Conservation Authority and Township Public Works had no concerns regarding the application, and Grey County has not conducted a formal review due to streamlining and have no concerns at this time. Staff at this point recommend approval of consent file B3-25 and B4-25, subject to standard conditions, including rezoning to permit the 6 semi-detached dwellings on the entire property. Staff also feel the lot configuration is compatible with nearby development, and the proposed infilling would make efficient use of the existing infrastructure as well. The proposed consent also complies with the lot creation policies in the official plan, with safe access to Doyle Street, municipal water and sewer, and proper grading and drainage as outlined in the applicant's Van Harten servicing report. Happy to take any questions at this time.
Do any members of the committee have any questions? I'll look at you, Joan. Do you have any? I apologize for that.
Thank you. Mr. Shipson, Chair. I was just putting my questions together though, but so it's going to be a total of 8 semi-detached, right?
Through 6 units.
6. I thought there is 6 on 1 and 2 on 1. Okay, so yeah, I was reading that wrong. Okay, what size will these semi-detached be? What's-
Sorry, through you, it's this application is just regarding the consent itself. I can pull up what I believe is the total size
Maybe
of
if
the
I-
units. I don't know off the top of my head.
Ken, go ahead.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, I happen to have the drawing. It's on page 8. They're proposing 83.16 square meters for each unit based on the drawing that was.
Great. Any other questions from now? Because Joan was right, I did skip. Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
You asked me, so now it came up.
I'm
I'm just a little bit concerned about, we have quite a lot of vacant houses in Dundalk. And we're building more. I don't know, that's just my concern. I wish we were building some job sites and some retail, but I guess we need smaller houses, which would help. But that's just a little bit of a concern for me. Thank you.
Monica?
Thank you, Chair. Just through you, with regards to parking and access, how many parking spaces will be provided per unit, and does this meet our zoning requirements?
Through you, I believe there is one parking space and then a tandem space as well. And that would be something that would be assessed during the rezoning process as well, which this rezoning file is going to public plan this afternoon.
And so just with regards to the parking, so you mentioned there's one and then a tandem. Is there a garage that cars can go in? Just to follow through with that question is, I'm thinking with regards to if there would be any concerns with street parking overflow, especially during winter months when snow removal is needed.
Through you, I believe there is a garage and yeah, I guess street parking is a concern within the Dundalk area. That could be something staff could look at and assess. When we write a report for the rezoning, we can address that. And again, Public Works would provide any comments if they see any issues with parking or roadway access as well.
Just a follow-up, Chair.
Sure.
Thank you. So just with regards as well, for that, could staff, or maybe you can answer now, just want to make sure that we'll have clear access for emergency services, garbage collection and snow plows as well.
Yeah, through you. Yep. Public Works, Fire Department, they're all circulated in on those applications. If there's any concerns, staff can include them for sure.
And has there been a consideration instead of 6, maybe 4?
Through you, staff have gone a bit back and forth with the applicant. This is just kind of what made sense for the area and what they felt made efficient use of the site as well. But if there's concern from committee or council going forward when council sees the rezoning, that can be a discussion for sure that can be raised with the applicant to see if there's maybe a possibility for reduction in units. But at this time, they felt 6 units would be appropriate.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I will say that some of those questions could be for the public planning this afternoon. So Barb, go ahead.
Thank you. And through you, just to clarify, the purpose of this committee of adjustment meeting is to consider a severance for the 2 existing lots to create a 3rd lot. So they're going to merge and then they're going to be divided to create 3 lots. There are already existing homes and garbage pickup. They also have access they have forward-facing access on both Doyle and Artemisia. In the past, there has been consideration given to having houses facing both streets. I noticed that this isn't being proposed, which would allow access to the rear yards from Artemisia. I noticed on the site plan, and again, this may be for the planning meeting, because it does clearly show garages and driveways. But there are boxes in the rear of each of the units proposed. Is that future sheds? I'm just wondering if there's any plan for accessory suites like laneway suites, because that would certainly be allowed because they would have access on Artemisia.
Through
Would
you,
that-
sorry,
Yeah.
just to clarify, those are uncovered decks, the little
Mhm.
squares at the back. I know it's a bit hard to see. You can't really see the labeling on them.
Actually, it's the horizontal rectangular
Oh, I see.
box that's not labeled closer to Artemisia.
Okay. I see infiltration gallery labeled there on one of the site plans. I don't know if that may
You
be.
have better eyesight than I do. Thank you, Victoria. Yes, try as I might, I enlarged that site plan and it just wasn't happening for me. But thank you. So what we are going to be granting or deferring or denying is the severance into 3 lots.
And through you, these have also been, this file has also already been to committee for a cancellation certificate. So it's already been merged. So it's just the severance that committee is looking at today.
Excellent. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Barb. I was remiss, as I was reminded by Member Joan, that if there's any applicants in attendance, if you want to come forward and speak, please come. I apologize for that, but please come and state your name and the mic. And you can both come up or not. You're here, you might as well make your time.
My name is Brian Delenardo, one of the applicants from Amaranth, Ontario. I don't know if I have any comments, but no, we've already been granted cancellation certificate. We're just looking for the severance for the 3 lots.
Okay, great.
Given your blessing. Thank you.
Are there any other ones that would like to support this? Obviously not. Don't see any up there. Any in opposition? Seeing none. I will again ask the committee members if there is a requirement for further discussion, review, or ask any conditions are required, if not already mentioned. Seeing none. And Barb moves that we grant this application. May I have a seconder? Jason, thank you very much. Be resolved that staff report PL 202-579-268-4742 Ontario Inc. Nick Fitzgerald. I hope I said that right. 27281 Doyle Street be received for information, and that a rezoning be in full force and effect to place a severed and retained lots in a zone permitting up to 6 semi-detached dwellings with appropriate regulations. That a reference plan of survey be provided to the satisfaction of the Secretary Treasurer, and that standard conditions apply as recommended by agencies, including that all requirements of the township, financial or otherwise, to the satisfaction of the Secretary Treasurer prior to issuance of a certificate of consent, including payment of cash in lieu of parkland, any outstanding taxes, fees, and charges, if any. We've discussed it. Can I have confirmation of the vote for approval? That is carried. The decision of the Committee of Adjustment is to grant the application. The applicant shall have 2 years in which conditions must be met. So we come to the adjournment. Notice of decisions from today's meeting will be signed electronically by members and distributed accordingly per the Planning Act. The committee decisions may be appealed pursuant to Section 17D of the Planning Act within 20 days of the date of the notice to the Ontario Land Tribunal. May I ask for a motion to adjourn? Barb moves it and Joan seconds. And that is it for the Committee of Adjustment for today. Thank you very much.